Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, She Plans, She Budgets. In today's video, we'll be closing out my budget for the month of January, so let's get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at my expenses between the 28th and the 31st. This will be considered week 5. So on the 28th, I had a no spend day. On the 29th, I had two transactions, both for Amazon. Out of my self-care sinking fund, I spent $43 on a bottle of perfume, and it actually cost $48, so that's where the additional $5 came from, which was from my personal spending. So I'm just going to go ahead and check those two expenses off. Phone bill for $95 was due and paid. Then on the 30th was my second no spend day for this 5th week. And then on the 31st, I had some various transactions out of my spending for $116.51, and then also some cash envelope spending for the total of $200. And we're going to take a look at those expenses right now. All right, so this is where I keep my spending tracker. So like I mentioned, from the 28th through the 31st, on the 29th, I spent a total of $48 on some Gucci Guilty perfume. Comment down below if you heard of this perfume, tried it, and smell it, and just tell me what your thoughts are. I should be receiving it in the mail sometime this week, and I'll hopefully I'll remember to give my little 2 cents about it to see if I like it. For the cash envelopes spending of $200 on the 31st, I did spend $40 on gas, $150 on groceries, and $10 on laundry. And then for my various spending on the 31st, $57.31 went towards me purchasing my March budget kit, and that was from Erica Life Vlogs. And then I spent $15.71 at Wawa, and then the $43.49 was spent for Grubhub. Okay, so that takes care of these 2 days. I do want to mention too real quick, probably already know, I am using a 7x9 Erin Condren monthly planner, and the stickers I'm using this month are from Romina Rosa, and both will be linked down below. All right, so that was the calendar, and this is the spending tracker. This is my debt tracker update for January. I will have this video linked down below, so feel free to check it out. We will come back to this page to close the month out. We just need to take a look at some of the other pages. All right, so here is week 5 for the weekly check-in page. And as I mentioned, I just went ahead and filled in these numbers. So again, gasoline, I spent $40, so that means I should have a remaining of $80 left. Groceries has a remaining of $0. Laundry has a remaining of $20. Personal spending has a remaining of $33.28. And then for my sinking funds, I have a remaining of $1,852. And we're going to verify these numbers right now. Just wanted to mention for my unbudgeted, this $314.95 is an accumulation of the entire month. So for the first portion that I accumulated, which was the $264.95, I did write that off as a bill, and we'll get in more details about that right here. So that transaction occurred on my credit card, and I did treat it as a bill and paid it off. So that amount was rectified or reconciled. And then this extra $50, I did pull that from my buffer I have in my account. So this unbudgeted expense has been reconciled. A couple of other notes I noticed for this month is that I didn't spend as much on gasoline like I thought. I normally budget $160 for the month, but I only end up spending half of that. So obviously my commute is not as much. So hopefully that can continue on into the future months. If so, then I'll just reduce my gasoline contribution for the cash envelope stuffing. For groceries, there was nothing left over. Pretty much each week I was left with exactly what I budgeted. So I think $650 a month is a good number to keep for groceries. And then also I noticed when I pack lunch and cook over the weekends, I spend way less money in my personal spending. And what I mean by that So I give myself basically like $250 every other paycheck, so bi-weekly. Not every other paycheck, sorry. Every paycheck I give myself $250, so every paycheck. So in a 2-week period, usually I'll spend more than 50% of that in the first week and then struggle the second week. And I've been trying hard to break out of that habit. And now that I've started packing lunch and cooking over weekends to make sure there's food throughout the week, I've noticed that I've been retaining more money in my first week, which means I'll have more money to spend in my second week before the next payday. So I'm finally figuring out my madness, because as you guys know, I do struggle with eating out a lot. That's usually where all of my personal spending go. But so far so good. I mean, I didn't have much left over by the end of the month, but the point is I didn't spend most of it in the first week before, the next paycheck. So I think I'm moving in the right direction. Oh yeah, so let me grab my envelopes. So I'm using my A6 binders found on Amazon, and I'll have these linked down below so that we can go over these numbers real quick. So starting with gasoline, this should have $80 in there. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, and I'm actually going to take this out. Normally I roll this money into the next month, which is February. I roll it until the first paycheck of February, which is February 4th. But today is the 2nd. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this money out now, since, we're in February and I know for a fact I'm not going to spend this money. Because what I like to do with this extra cash envelope money is roll it into a debt snowball. Okay, so let me take that $80 out. And then get groceries is empty. And then laundry has 20. And here it is. And I'm going to take that out as well. Then for the personal spending, that is a cashless envelope that's kept in my bank account. So I use my debit card for that. And that money did get rolled over into February, and it was spent in February as well. So that's that. And then lastly, for my sinking funds, we can flip over to my sinking funds page to verify the $1,852. So nothing is in self-care. Well, let me back up for a second. Just so you guys know, here's my transaction log of everything that occurred throughout this month. Not too much happened, as you can see. And what I do is just take the amounts that was spent or added, put it into these two categories of what was added for the month. This $456 is based on the budget that I set forth in the monthly view, as well as paycheck number 1. And yeah, paycheck number 1. And then here is what I spent. So out of self-care, I spent a total of $68. That's why it's 0 now. And then for pets, I spent $60, and I should have a remaining of 20. And here it is. Okay, and then no changes were made in these categories. Car maintenance still has the $1,000 prop money slip. And then for home projects, this has prop money in it as well. It has $200 prop money in there. And that's because I exchanged $200 for a $200 gift card to TJ Maxx. For home projects, I like to use it for home decor and stuff. So I had an opportunity to get a $200 gift card. So I took the real $200 and used it for something else. And then I'm just going to have this prop money represent the total of $350, just because I have a gift card that I will supplement this for. So it's supposed to have $350, and it has 1, 2, 300, $350. All right, and then next is gifts, and this should have $50. And I have 20, 40, 50. So that is correct. And the miscellaneous should have 10. And this is $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. Okay, so far, so good. All right, and then for my blue binder, starting with water bill, that should have $111. So 100, 110, and 111. Car insurance should have $100. And it does. And then subscriptions should have 110. So 50, 100, 105, and 110. And then vet and grooming should have $101. And this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 101. So perfect. All right. So let's do a quick count. So if I take 68 plus 60 plus 213, so this is how much that left my sinking funds, a total of $341. But since I had did an additional $30, I'm gonna just say minus 30 to show that a total of $311 was spent this month, or $311 was the net change. All right, so we just do this equation. So I started the month off with $1,707 in sinking funds. I took $456 out of paycheck number 1, and then we had a net change of a $311, and then I should have a remaining of $1,852 in my sinking funds, which also, when you add this up, it equals the same thing. So everything balances out. So 1852. All right, so that is it for my sinking funds. So I'm just going to flip back to paychecks 1 and 2 just to give you guys a quick glance of what transpired. We're going to pull all of the actuals for the income and expenses as well as the cash envelopes to plug that into the monthly view, and then that way we can close out my budget just to make sure everything balanced out. All right, so for the actuals again, so for paychecks 1 and 2, let me do that math. All right, so that was an actual of $6,035 with 82 cents. So that was a difference of 2 cents. And then for YouTube, that paycheck was an actual of $104.48. And then for my credit card rewards, that was a total of $270.01, which will give me a total of $374.49 for this category or income source. And that is a difference of positive $269.84. All right, and then for December's cash envelope and water bill sinking fund, that stayed the same at $265.12, so no change there. And then for a grand total, $374.49 plus $265.12. All right, so that is a grand total for the month of $6,675.43 with a positive change of $269.82. Okay, so as I mentioned in my budget overview video, all of my fixed expenses were already listed, so this is true, the $19.26.61. And just as a reminder, like I said earlier, the unbudgeted expense for $264.95 I did treat as a payment because I did make that purchase with my credit card and I paid off the credit card in full. Okay, so back to my cash envelopes under my variable expenses. So for gasoline, groceries, laundry, I'm going to mark those as fully spent, even though my intention is to roll over these amounts, the $80 and the $20, into a debt snowball payment, but I'm going to have that shown as an income source in February for the $100. So let's just verify that's what it is. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. All right, so this will be my first extra debt snowball payment in February, and I'll probably combine it with paycheck 1 in February. Okay, but for closing out January, I'm going to show it as an exact spent, and then for February, it will just be shown as a income source. All right, so 650 here, 30 here. All right, so for sinking funds, I always roll this over into the next month. So this will be exact as well, 456 for sinking funds. And then for my personal spending, in week 3, I wrote over $5.50 into a debt snowball. So I'm going to show that by writing an actual spending of $494.50, with the change being $550. And that went towards debt. All right, and then for saving challenges, I was actually supposed to start saving challenges this year. I had purchased the savings challenge book from Taylor Budgets, and unfortunately I had to change gears just because I have to focus on other things. So I was going to budget out $578, but I actually ended up budgeting 0. So this will be positive $578. And then for other miscellaneous, that's the other miscellaneous things I needed to take care of. I put from the $578, I put $409 towards that. And that's actually the money that's at the end of my sinking funds that's back here. It was for taxes and a couple of other upcoming expenses that I should have made into sinking funds. And normally I would back in November, December, but I forgot. So I had to just recover from that. So that's why my budget changed a little bit. So I'm going to write minus 409 here for the change. And then for my buffer, I budgeted $364.84. I wound up putting aside, technically I put aside $350 when you look at my paychecks 1 and 2. I put aside $350, but I actually spent $50 in week 3 that was unbudgeted. So that's where that $50 came from, the buffer. So I'm going to write the $300 here and $50 here because it wasn't an budgeted expense. So minus 50, and this is plus 64.84. All right, so let me run up those totals. So 160 plus 160 plus 650 plus 30 plus 456 plus 494.50 plus 409 plus 300 plus 50. All right, so that gives me a total variable expenses of $2,549.50. And the differences was 550 plus 578 plus 64.84 minus 409 minus 50. All right, so the positive difference of 189.34. And which basically means that difference went towards a debt snowball as well. Okay. So let me move this up. All right, so for my budget breakdown, total income this month was $6,675 with 43 cents. Fixed expense did not change. So that was $1,926.61. And then variable did change to $2,549.50. So once we do that math, 66.75.43 minus 19.26.61 minus 25.49.50, we get $2,199.32, and that is the exact amount that went towards my debt snowball payment for this month of January, or last month, January. So $21.99.32, and that matches exactly what we have right here in my debt tracker page. Okay. Okay, so flipping back to the calendar view, just want to go ahead and say overall this month wasn't too bad. It went by fairly quick, which I'm happy about. I feel like January normally drags, but it didn't feel too long this go around. I'm ending the month with a total of 9 no spend days. Hopefully that can increase next month. And then yeah, I have my extra debt snowball payment marked right here, $21.99.32. Hopefully I can do something similar in February so I can be that much closer to debt freedom. As you guys know, I'm almost at the under 4K range, and hopefully I won't have to deal with this last loan too much longer. I think it may go into March. And I say may because I'm hoping my tax return can take care of whatever I'm ending with in February. But if not, I'll just, take care of it with my March paychecks, and then I will finally be debt free. So excited, can't wait. All right, so that is everything I have for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye.